I mean, like, specifically women watching you? I don't know what that was.
Why are you,
I
bro?
don't
You're
know.
okay. Listen, you're just. This is like what's he got that I don't got? Listen, if you wanna,
No, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Gonna be destroyed. So yeah.
you know what's funny is like my thought was just being like, is someone gonna come out? Is someone gonna come out and say something like, "Listen, guys, this isn't good for the Jews"? Again, because it's like it's the two big fucking like Zio but not far right communities saying fucking accusing each other of being pedos. Wait, where's fucking hell? The Yeet page is just gonna be full of this stuff, isn't it? All day. That takes hours to track dozens of videos over time. It's not dozens of videos. There's like, you can look at one. I mean, on that question, I've given you an answer now. Like, I just said that because I read it on a fucking provocative electronic intifada headline. And I was just like, yeah, that seems legit. That seems like a good virtue signal to give. That's basically the beginning and end of why I said that. But Chris surprisingly doesn't just believe all of BE's claims. He's trying to be good faith somewhat, but he believes it's impossible you change your position sincerely. Well, he can ask me about it. Fuck. I think, I mean, it might be difficult because he was so fucking petty that he wouldn't even take a friend request on Discord for me to send him a link. But do I still even have him on in my DM history? No, I don't, because I couldn't DM him because I needed to give the friend request for a link. Is he in my Discord server or did he leave? Ethan respond. This is so fucking long. This is so long. My friends, I have a terrible confession to make. Yes, it is true. My 15-year-old Reddit account was identified by using a doxing website that lists a history of all emails and passwords that have been leaked in illegal data breaches. A post last night was made on the Snark subreddit by the person who obtained this information. With Reddit's help, this person was able to disseminate this illegally and maliciously obtained information to a community whose sole purpose is to harass me, my family, and employees. Terrible revelations were made. I had a username Pedotroll. 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 A few bizarre and edgy attempts at being funny. It was common on Reddit 15 years ago to create a thematically named troll account to post silly things from. The method was to have Redditors read something crazy and check the username and realize that it was a goof. You can see evidence of this on most of the posts made in character. These troll stories include anecdotes that clearly never happened, including a story that references my children who were born 10 years later. Further evidence of this is simply that I was self-promoting my YouTube channel while doing these parody posts. I knew I was personally identifiable the entire time. I was trying to be funny so people look at my account and discover my YouTube channel. I was not ashamed of it then, and I'm not ashamed of it now. Embarrassed, yes, on par with cringing at my old YouTube videos. There are a few posts of me being a Zionist Jewish supremacist, which includes me mostly arguing with someone calling Israel Nazi Germany. What did he say about Israel in these Reddit posts? That might be fun. Wait, what's this? Oh, I saw this yesterday. Someone showed this in Discord. The last two videos have been buried in the algorithm beyond anything I've ever seen. In this time span, they usually have anywhere between 150 and 300k views. This one is at 19k, lol. Consider Patreon. Israel bombs hospital, kills 5 journalists. On live Bro, yeah, just put, where's Ethan's face and Destiny's face? You can even put my face in there, why not? You'll triple, quadruple. It's almost as if these guys and their audiences don't actually give a fuck about any of this. It's just beyond the fact that it's just like a means of moral fucking moral self-aggrandizement. Ethan Klein announcement.
Listen, all right. It's been a
That's well timed.
fortuitous. Is that a word I could use here?
Is there no chat? What the fuck?
Chance rather than design.
No chat. What'd you do? Oh, it's there.
I could use it, but that's not what I'm looking for.
Is it slop o'clock?
'Kay.
Yeah, we'll do some slop o'clock.
The last week, been a lot of stuff going on. Okay, we've been fighting in the trenches. There's been a lot of stuff that has been happening and everything else. Okay, I would like to reiterate. I don't think. I'm pretty sure nobody involved here is an actual pedophile, child molester, anything like that. Okay. I feel like my points spoke strongly enough the way that I intended them. I think enough people have understood what I'm trying to say. Obviously, there was some more meme stuff that was kind of dug up yesterday that people are running through. I'm going to reiterate something I said. I think I said this at the beginning of my thing. What did I write down? I don't like doing this content, okay? As much as I used to, all right? It's a little bit fun to indulge every now and then, I'll be honest, okay? But this is not what I want to do. This is not my current forte. I think that I have other stuff that I...
Oh shit, Dilute Mule, thanks to the $5. When is the next Hagari impression? Don't know, maybe after many goals. Meme, thanks for the $4.99, 10 toes down in the super chat goal. Wow, nice one. It's actually only 4 toes down so far. We need 6 more toes. Or $5, either or, really. How much could you sell a toe for? Consciousness, thanks for the £5. Captain Dan, thanks for the $5. And Dilute Mule, thanks for the other $5. Why do I have to lower myself to their level of ignorance to debate them on Holocaust denial? You don't have to. It's just that sometimes people want to, right? You don't have to do anything.
enjoy doing a lot more now.
It's a free country. For now.
Don't particularly like doing the whole back and forth nuke after nuke after nuke bullshit. It's just not, this is not the kind of content I want to do. I've been sucked back into it, okay? Because they killed my dog, all right? But yeah. I'm sure that Ethan and the crew are probably getting a lot of attention, negative, whatever. My community is not supposed to brigade or harass. I think I told all my mods, okay, we're done Ethan posting, we're done H3 posting. I'm not looking to pile on for the next like week or 2 weeks. If you understand how like the waves of the internet shit work, obviously we had our stuff yesterday, and there's probably going to be
How did DGG manage to get so much more shit about Ethan and Ela compared to the Snarkers who have been doing this for like 2 years? How did they manage to do that? What happened? Willie Max making another video. Okay. It was from Snark. I don't think it was all from Snark. What, the Reddit history? A lot of that new stuff is not from Snark. That's new. At least I've never seen it before. Like what, him talking about Israel like 15 years ago? Like, none of the posts I saw were him saying anything particularly like faulty about Israel. Just, you can tell he obviously, his stances on the conflict are a little bit more solidified in Israel's favor back then than I guess he makes them out to be now, maybe? Like it's weird that he's arguing about genocide 15 years ago. I did not know that came into the discourse at that point. Some of it is from Snark, I know that. Like a lot of the clips. Pedotroll. Well, I don't know anyone who is a slave, but friends of my grandparents were able to compare their personal experience of the labor camps with Gaza. What? Palestinians are not treated as subhumans. Why don't you come to Israel instead of repeating talking points that, honestly, you really seem to know nothing about? There are reasons for what the Israelis do that are more complex than what you may see as genocide or hate. Come to Israel, talk to an Israeli. You have no first-hand experience, no knowledge. Talking points. Come to Israel and talk to a Palestinian for that matter. Palestinians living in Israel are not shot and killed in the street. They are not harassed, abused, etc. They're integrated into society on almost every level. I live in Tel Aviv. I live in an Arab neighborhood. All the shops in my neighborhood are owned by Palestinians. I work with and live next to Arabs, Palestinians. I have Palestinian friends. There are laws that discriminate against them, yes, and I do not like that. And I want it to stop, but try to see the reason for why Israel does it, and it may be the start of understanding that can actually solve the problem. You do nothing but spit hatred and ignorance. Nothing you know or think can be used constructively to help the situation. This doesn't seem too different to his positions now, right? Like, he maybe bites more bullets on fucking genocide and shit like that these days, but, you know, that's his loss. It's Pedotroll account. This is really funny. When I read stories about how Gaza is a death camp and how it's being deprived of essentials and about ethnic cleansing, this statistic comes to mind. Life expectancy, 73 years. That doesn't sound like Nazi Germany or apartheid to South Africa to me. This speaks volumes. Am I correct in thinking this? -6. China. I don't know if China is smooth sailing or whatever you mean by that, but I also don't compare Chinese living conditions to ghettos in Nazi Germany. China has a relatively good standards for most of its people, healthcare-wise, from what I've read, so I don't think it's a fair comparison. You're comparing the second most powerful country on earth to Gaza, so I don't really see your point. This is an outrageous statement you made. It's 2010. They aren't going to just outright gas a bunch of Palestinians. Brackets, they would if they could. Okay. I guess that person didn't know that, like, you know that people in the world still use chemical weapons and commit mass slaughters and all this kind of shit. Anyway, well. Yeah, none of those takes are particularly shocking. In 2010, so around the flotilla time, I guess the blockade in Gaza was pretty bad back then. It was that was the worst of it. 2007 to 2010. Huh. Okay.
Ripples from, I'm sure, Hassan and others today, if they haven't already, or people around him, and then the commentary people pick it up and they'll do all that shit. Yeah. So I'm good where I'm at. I don't care. I don't mind if people make like measured criticisms of me. If somebody wants to say I'm a coomer, or if somebody wants to say I can be whatever, you know, I don't care. But if you're gonna go hard into the paint and sound like some creepy predator pedophile who has a history of doing all this shit, and you're gonna continue to lay on that point, then I'm gonna obviously lay out my points as well, and that's what we're gonna do. We can do that. I don't mind it. I think I can still do it. I feel like we've shown that we can still do it. I just am not interested in that per se, but okay. So, did you offer him a ceasefire? No, because I don't have any direct communication with him at all. I don't communicate with him directly. We don't communicate directly. I just see him shoot Instagram stories at me, and then I launch tweets at him. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm done talking about it. My communities are gonna be done posting about it. Yeah, that's it. This includes the Willie Mac stuff. For the rest of the commentary people, I don't give a fuck about them. I don't care. If you guys want to shit on them, go for it. I don't care. In my mind, I think one of the most upsetting things about everything that happened, there's two really upsetting things. One is that it gave two huge communities this whole kind of weird lefty apparatus, and then all of the snarkers / anti-fans / Kiwi farmers, this was like their gold mine of attention and shit. And while I'm sure there are some H3 snarkers or leftovers people, I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people who are probably happier with me or enjoy me more than not right now because of everything that happened. I don't like those types of people. I don't want to foster those types of people as an audience. I don't want my audience to know those types of people, so I don't give a fuck about those people, okay? Fuck them. I don't want that audience. I don't care about them. I don't care if they like that I did this or whatever. I also don't, well, I would imagine that Ethan probably doesn't want to engender too much Kiwi Farm support, because that also leads to a bunch of like weird, horrible, stupid stuff happening. So yeah, so that, it sucks that like the weird lefty communities and then the snarker communities all have their stuff. They all have their day in the sun, which is annoying. Oh, it's also annoying because I think that me and Ethan's content is pretty different in terms of what H3 does. I think that their audience, I've said this before, their audience is like heavily women. I think it's actually 60-40 woman versus man versus woman. I thought it was 40-60. I think it's 60-40. And I think my style of content and everything else is it leans much more masculine or whatever debate, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I understand there's not necessarily an organic crossover there, but I think we were like the only two like left-leaning places on the internet that was still not hardcore fucking anti-Semitic, burn all the Jews in hell, kill every single Jewish person, which every other fucking left-leaning community has gone that direction of. So I think it's like a little bit sad if our communities are literally trying to destroy each other's, which my community is not going to be destroyed. So yeah.
You know what's funny is like my thought was just being like, is someone going to come out? Is someone going to come out and say something like, listen, guys, this isn't good for the Jews? Again, because it's like, it's the two big fucking, like, Zio, but not far right communities saying fucking, accusing each other of being pedos. And I'm like, damn, there ain't no way the Mossad paid for this. The Mossad wants its money back, bro. What the fuck? Think of the Jews. Stop fighting me for the Jews.
Yeah, I just think that's like really, it's a bad fight. I think it's a stupid community fight to have. I think that there are.
Is that this community? I think my community is probably too small for him to mention. I don't think he believes that my community is talking about burning the Jews or whatever the fuck, right? My community is nice and small. It's cute. It's going to be a lot smaller now that I think a lot of the DGGers have kind of realized that no amount of, oh, look at this thing that Pixie did, this dirty fucking whore, is going to get me back into the good graces of Destiny, or rather to get Destiny back into my good graces. I think they're realizing that, and they can fuck off, and that's good. All right, that's fine. We'll either just plateau, and that's cool, or we'll branch out somewhere else. Who knows? I don't mind. I once told myself a few years ago that if I could broadcast my thoughts and my opinions to like a few hundred people every day, or even 100 people, or even 50 people every day, as long as I make enough of a living for it, which I definitely do, then it's worth it. You know, I don't care.
I think I've said this before, even before today. People are, what did I say before today? Oh fuck, I read something in chat, my mind hopped about something else. Oh, I think I said before today, I know I did, I don't know why I think I did. I know I said this before today, that I think Ethan and I were two of the only people to make the jump from being very edgy in the 2010s to being like pretty progressive-y and wokey in the 2020s without being soy as fuck. Like a lot of people failed that jump. They either quit content creation or they are still edgy and they turned into lolcow, so your Keemstars and your boogies and all that, or they became woke but they also lost their comedic edge, right? So like Ian is a really great example of that, who became super fucking soyed out and is no longer funny or entertaining to watch, even though he became ultra woke progressive. So yeah, I just feel like it's so stupid. I just feel like that conflict between Ethan, especially over.
If I recall correctly, you were yelling at Ogre Boy and said I would rather stream to 10 Sevs and Sundowners than 10,000 Ogre Boys, or 100,000 Ogre Boys. That is true, but the problem is that 10 Sundowners would mean that we would get 100,000 N-words. I'm sorry.
Something as stupid as like, are we pedophiles? Like, there must be something better to fight on. I'm not saying nobody can criticize me. If you didn't think I give a dumb take on something or do something stupid or whatever, I think that's totally fine. I've called out Ethan for doing stupid things. I think ironically, I guess, or not unironically, I guess, most of his like call outs when he's trying to get people like fresh and fit, or even the Noah Samson thing, I think the pro Jared thing, he tends to miss the mark on that sometimes. And I'll call him out when he does dumb stuff like that, okay? But just the ultra unhinged, like, this person is a murderer, pedophile, predator, like, I just don't, unless you want to go like full fucking snark coded, I just don't see the, I just don't see the purpose for that, but. Okay, yeah, I think that's all I got. What happens if he makes 3 more videos about you with the worst? Oh, if he keeps making content on me, I keep making lots of content. If you want to keep making content, we can do it. I mean, who's your audience at this point? Like, who are you making the content for? Like, if we want to become Snark QB Farm streamers, we can do that. Like I said, I don't mind. If you want, we can do it. I just feel like it's not. I feel like it's not a productive use of either of our times. But yeah. Can you please give a recap of how this even started? I feel like you got many complaints not to die, and then suddenly decided to nuke you. Is that accurate? A quick recap is basically...
Someone needs to make a meme, and you know what? The only person to do this would actually be Sundowner. Fuck. Someone needs to make a meme.
PLO leader Yasser Arafat decided to pursue the path of diplomacy.
لقد جئتكم يا سيادة الرئيس بغصن الزيتون في يدي وببندقية الثائر في يدي.
It's this sentence. I come with an olive branch in one hand and a freedom fighter's gun in the other, but it should just be that with like an olive branch in one hand and I guess like a new snark folder in the other. Because they look kind of similar as well, don't they?
فلا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي.
That's like the gist.
لا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي.
لا تسقط غصن الأخضر من يدي.
لا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي.
In November 1974, Yasser Arafat received a standing ovation at the General Assembly of the United
Okay, wow.
Hassan said some unhinged crazy shit like 2 weeks ago, and then I was typing in chat that basically like if
Hassan.
Not
that guy.
I don't want to repeat shit because everybody spam reports my shit right now, okay? But like basically like if this is the standard, we're saying people like you can justify basically killing any like person if these are the standards, these are the rules we're gonna apply. Like you can argue like you could kill people for tons of stuff. It's not good. And then Hassan specifically in this context. And then I think that Hassan, who is petrified of literally any criticism whatsoever relating to his conduct or his political positions, he sees my message and he tries to make me an out where he just cries about how mean I am. Personally, I don't think almost anybody bit on that. Hassan kept trying to force it and cry about it. But then for some reason, Ethan and Ela jumped on and they're like, oh no, like we almost had Hassan and now he has an out. It's like, first of all, you don't almost have Hassan. Hassan has been saying unhinged crazy shit for 2 years. None of this is going to be the thing that takes him down. And then two, why would anything I say even matter? The only reason why it could matter for you guys if you make it matter. Just know, even if you disagree with what I said, then just say that, you know? Destiny said shit, I don't know, we don't agree with that necessarily. But who cares? This has nothing to do with what you said. We don't communicate. Listen, the thing that frustrates me the most on this is that people are making all these assumptions that I'm like puppet mastering Ethan or that I control Ethan or that we have these conversations behind closed doors. And then I feel like Ethan acts like we have these conversations behind closed doors with the way that he acts because oh shit.
Is this big? Are they gonna be referring to?
Yeah, because when he tries to do these things, he's like, no, I swear I'm not controlled by Destiny. No, I swear he's not puppet mastering me. It's like, oh, that message, that was a really bad time to send a message. Sorry. He was not like I was doing it. Sorry. Yeah, no, when he is so like, when he's so excited, like, oh no, look, I can prove Destiny's not controlling me. He's like, well, bro, you're literally making it seem like I'm controlling you by showing how desperate you are to show people I'm not controlling you. Like, if Ethan and I were actually in communication behind the scenes, then I would understand a little bit more. It's like, okay, bro, I understand. You gotta throw me to the bus for this one so that people don't think we're gonna get fine. Let's fucking go, bro. But it's like, we don't talk at all. I'm gonna be honest, okay? I think I might have already said this on stream. I feel embarrassed because I have tried to message Ethan, I think 2 or 3 times in the past, but it was to his fucking Twitter account. And somebody said something in chat about him not using Twitter. Like, oh yeah, shit. And I realized, I looked at those messages. These are like over a year ago. I'm like, oh, I'm literally just shooting these DMs out in the fucking void. Okay, like a fucking loser. So no, yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. I think there's better people to go after. I think there's better issues to focus on. I think there's better people to attack. I think there's better stuff to talk about. You know, if shit comes out in the future, after my court case is over, or after, you know, the Willie Mac shows up with all his federal buddies, you know, hey, cover it then and talk about it then. But until then, yeah, especially the whole like digging through like past clips and stuff is just, I think it's super wacky. Could it be possible that Ethan got lured / tricked into this by his team or other people? I do think, unfortunately, there's a lot of pressure on Ethan by his crew, because his crew, based on what I've seen, I don't watch H3 a lot, and I don't mean that as a burn. I don't watch any content. Anybody that has watched my stream for any period of time knows I don't watch any content. I just don't have time or the inclination to do. I just don't. But it seems like most of his crew are like Hassan Simps. I know that AB Star Killer guy, I think is, right? He's the same guy. And there's a few others who are super, they were whatever, I don't know if they're just lefty pro-Pallies in general, if they're big Hassan Simps. So like whenever Ethan's talking about Hassan, they just like nervously sit there, not saying anything. But then when they're talking about me, they're giddy with joy. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't care. I actually don't care. I don't give a fuck what the reason is. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care what the rationalization is. But yeah.
Twice in a row, Destiny watches JTalk every night. I mean, I know he used to jump in there and scream at them, so that would imply that he was watching. Yeah. I find it weird that streamers watch me before they go live. Like, I've seen that. I've seen that a few times. Or they'll just appear a chat. Like, there was a Queeman yesterday saying that he was watching a bit of me before he went on stream, and then he was like commenting on his impressions and shit. Yeah.
Any chance to talk with Ethan live, or you just don't care? I have no idea. I don't think Ethan wants to
in chat.
meet me ever live, because it's like a moment of like, I think Ethan is genuinely really petrified of not being able to shake the Destiny puppet allegations. Like, if he wants to, sure.
Willie Max in here, yeah.
I don't even know what we would talk about at this point.
Ryan Beard?
I would always do on H3, obviously, whether we're talking about Israel Palestine or current events or whatever other fucking meme shit. Yeah, like I would always do that. But to debate
what are these memes? Okay, new meme. To sum up, Ethan made edgy jokes. Okay, now why did you tell Willie Mac you kept porn made by a girl you were told was underage? Sweat. Old edgy jokes. Yeah, okay. Who knows, eh? Emails my family are getting. Wow. Anthony Fantano. warning about your, is it this isn't actually Fantano, it's like a 4, okay. Recently, your Ethan Klein's older posts were posted to the internet. These posts include Ethan saying he wants to molest his nephew. I have no idea if you have children. Seems like something his family should know. The chance there's proof of it. I will attach the post. Ethan has just admitted that it came from his Reddit account. Pray this isn't true. I know you should be alerted just in case. What, Anthony Fantano? What? That's not actually Fantano though, right? Horsing around. The fuck? Hello.
Yo. All right, I got like what, a couple questions, okay, motherfucker? All right. So, I'm gonna ask you first question. Do you think, due to the recent drama, do you think overall Destiny's a pedo? Yes or no?
A pedo? Probably not, no.
Probably not? Okay. 2, do you think it's like, do you think it's kind of cringe of like Ethan and Destiny bring them all close to each other? You think like they should just focus on like the recent shit that Destiny, the recent shit that Destiny got himself into?
Yeah, I think the two things that you would, I think, are actually quite worthy of public whatever would be the Pixie thing and the and the fact that it does seem like he was just kind of willing to believe Rose, even though there were quite a few reasons not to. Probably those two.
Yeah, I mean, because like I see people like in Lonerbox and same for YouTube chat, because they bring up like old Destiny clips and saying like, oh, Destiny always been like this, oh, like all these clips over the years, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's kind of like a character assassination, because like, would you call him a predator then without the bro shit? I mean, I feel like people should just like focus on.
I don't think to make any of those two claims I just did, like, you don't need any of the previous stuff, because again, with the previous stuff is like there is stuff in there that's like that 15-year-old thing. I didn't know about that until fairly recently. Things like that are just like, unfortunately, the way a lot of people used to talk in a way that they weren't actually like serious about, or like in a way that didn't really imply any intent, but just the way that like people spoke. Like pre-2016, people were fucking mental, okay? Like people who would say all kinds of shit like that. But yeah, like so for example, like if that was just that and nothing else recently had happened with say like Rose or Pixie or anything else, then I wouldn't think anything of it. But it's like the actions that actually hurt people or actually show like a very clear reckless like disregard for I guess like people's fucking safety or consent or whatever. Like that's the worst. That's like the much worse thing. I think.
Yeah, I don't know why people are like hammering on like the old Destiny clips, the old Ethan clip, because like we could do fucking back and forth whataboutism about the whole Ethan clip, Destiny clip. I feel like just focusing on the whole Pixie situation and the Rose situation. I feel like those are probably the most like heavy hitters. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel that people are saying, because you know you're like pretty close with like Ethan and you know used to with Destiny? How do you feel that people are saying that like, oh, you gotta pick a side or some shit?
I mean, if I have a side, it's like I would say Ethan, like quite easily, but obviously I think Ethan, and I've said this about him since the beginning, when he does these like drama attacks on people or whatever, like he's scuffed. He's like Dan, you know, he will throw like everything at the wall. Some of it might be accurate, and quite a lot of it is just he'll just see something and jump on it before he even has a minute to fucking think, right? Yeah, I do. Yeah. So as far as picking a side, I can say like I'm definitely leaning much more on one side. But yeah, it doesn't mean I support like every fucking decision that Ethan makes. You know?
I don't know. People were calling me like a Destiny defender or some shit. Cause like I'm like, bro, like bring up old clips. This is a long quarter. Right. I feel like bringing up old clips while this shit is coming out is like kind of cringe, low key. Cause like you want to say, cause if the old shit didn't came out, you wouldn't call him a predator. So I don't know why. You know what I mean? It's kind of cringe.
Yeah, most of like pretty much all the kind of like deal breaker things came like November, December last year. Yeah, that was when, and that was when I disconnected from Destiny as well. Yeah. Even the fucking cherry thing, I like as far as I know, obviously I haven't seen the evidence or like the footage, because you can't really show people that publicly without violating someone's privacy massively. But I mean, based on the people I trust and people I've heard talk about, like, I'm pretty sure that is completely true. I just don't know like where that's going, but yeah, even that.
What's your thoughts on the old like Scooter? What's your thought? Not Scooter. I mean, what's your thoughts on the recent shooter stuff?
The recent shooter.
Yeah, apparently had like what?
It's just that thing. Every time there's a
fucking-
shooter, people just say like, "Oh, like they're really really hoping for an opportunity to make it about the political ideology that they care about, right?" It seems like what I've seen of them definitely leans far right for them, but people will just, I guess, because some people think the person looks trans, so they're using that to say that it's a left wing thing. I don't know. It's just, I think I got very blackpilled after the fucking Jewish museum shooting, the Elias Rodriguez guy, because it seems that even when it's very clear that they are completely in sync with the people that espouse the same ideology, and when their manifesto can get fucking love hearts in in Hassan's chat, but no one really seems to care, so it's just whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty normal to say that like every YouTuber's community like is like a reflection of you, right? Like, your community is probably a reflection of you somewhat, right?
To a degree, yeah.
Do you think like you're too like non-confrontational? You think you're like a non-confrontational person?
Not really. Sometimes, depends on the situation. I'm always worse with interpersonal stuff than facts of the matter or whatever else. Just because interpersonal stuff, I generally find it harder to make like a fully rounded judgment on someone, I guess. So whereas with history or politics or whatever, I feel like it's all more simple.
Lonerbox, he's trying to bully you, motherfucker. If I was like straight up blunt, I'm pretty blunt with Lonerbox, bro. I can call him. I'm pretty blunted. Let me see. Three. What's my third question? Do you think you can take criticism, bro? Like, do you think like some of the criticisms of you are somewhat valid, or what? Or
I mean, I'll
no,
take good
just
criticism well,
like-
but if it's bad, then I'll go then I'll spurg out. Yeah, why not? Then I'll get triggered.
what's like the
Which
most,
criticism
like,
in
common,
particular
like-
do you think is good? What?
People are saying that like you're a fucking genocide defender, or what the fuck,
Yeah, well,
or
those people-
you're not too what's the word? You're not too critique of Israel a lot. You don't like cover Palestine a lot. You know what I mean?
Nah, I don't buy that. There might have been a phase when I was like particularly fucking bugged by the whatever Free Palestine crowd that I have like on occasion like leaned more instinctively to one side than the other than I should have. But that's like, as far as I know, I don't think I've actually been caught ever doing that. Like all the instances on me are like, most of the things that people get mad at me about or clips that circulate about me are me saying things that are 100% true. Or just me reserving immediate judgment because they obviously want me to interpret every possible thing as like evidence of the genocide or whatever. So no, yeah, even there, it's just I am yet to see particularly good critics. Like I might see people catching me on maybe like one factual error or something, but even then, it's like they'll just use it to make it about something else. But I correct course and just move on.
I mean, like, why not like just like hammer that shit? Like, why not just like instantly shut that shit down? Like, why not? Why don't you want to be like fuck you? Like, why not be confrontational to people?
To who? Who am I not being confrontational to? I feel like I am quite confrontational
in general
about Palestine.
Come on.
What?
In general, like, just like, why not be like? So you're not a debate, bro. You're more of like a nerdy, quiet motherfucker, right? So like, why not be like, oh, you talk shit? What's up? Pull to the VC. Like, why not be that person? Okay, why not be? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like I do
why
that.
not-
Are you worried that? Are you bothered that I haven't done as much of that recently?
yeah, I feel like you're too. What's the word? I feel like you're too non-confrontational. Don't want to get into fucking like arguments and shit. You know what I mean?
No, not really. I don't. I mean, obviously, I've kind of like slowly given up on a lot of the Free Palestine debaters because most of them just don't want to debate, or the ones who do are people I've already spoken to, and it's just like I feel like doing it too many times with the same people, especially if they're just going to be obsessively fucking bad faith with me, is just not worth it. Like I feel like you get most of an impression out of someone from the first one or two goes. I don't know what else. I mean, I can debate different topics. We did Russia, Ukraine with the lactoid guy. I'm supposed to have one on the UK and refugees quite soon with someone. I just need to get them to confirm when.
Is next week, right?
Maybe.
Apparently
I don't know
next
when
week.
it is. It's
Okay.
someday.
What's your thoughts on like Wick? I think he's hosting Destiny. What's your thoughts on like Wick hosting the Destiny thing today, right?
I don't care.
What's your thoughts on that?
I don't care. He can.
Do you think like people who like fucking do like moral grandstanding on like on Wick, who he's a fucking hostess, right? Do you think it's kind of cringe like people are shitting on Wick?
Well, I mean, the people
like,
who have that position are just like they're never going to be satisfied. There's always going to be, unless Stephen kills himself, right? Like there is a level of like it's a thing that happens with all kinds of mob justice. Because like if someone said like, "What do you want, Lonerbox?" It's like, well, what I want is I hope that there's like there's like a level of vindication for Pixie, and I guess if the cherry thing is real, which I don't have any reason to believe it's not, then her too. Like that's quite clear. If he ends up streaming afterwards, and there are people who still want to watch him, and he doesn't go to jail or whatever, then it's like, because that's what the court determined. That's like, yeah, whatever. Like, what am I going to do otherwise? Just try to keep on chugging until he's like serving fucking fries. Like, no, I don't care. Like, that's not really where I come from. But I think with some people, they don't really know what they're hoping to achieve from all this kind of stuff. What they're hoping to achieve when they attack people, or even when it comes to people like Hassan. Like, what I hope for when I do that is that like there are at least more people in the world who know how to respond to the things he's saying. I'm not trying to destroy his career or anything like that. That's not like.
Do you think like I agree, but I feel like do you think like if Destiny came out, instantly came out when the shit got leaked, because the first Sunday, weird ass. Do you think like if Destiny like fucking instantly made an apology, went public, you might see like a different light or a different view of Destiny, or like you might have like
say that again?
Do you think if Destiny went to apologize on YouTube, public, on a stream, wrote a fucking apology, said, "Hey, you know what? I fucked up." You think like that situation would not blown up as much, or like the criticism that he got wouldn't as overblown?
I have no idea. I mean, for me, it would be different, obviously. I don't know what it would have to do with people like with everyone else. Maybe some people would just use it as a vehicle to add in a whole bunch of other accusations, which might not be true. I don't know. I don't know how it would affect the broader sphere. Probably, maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't do anything, but it would change things for me, obviously.
Oh yeah, question. Third question. Because I know your audience is like 50% female, right? What's your audience? Like what? 53?
No, my audience is like 15.
15?
15% female, yeah.
That seems a lot, bro. Because there's like more females in the politics somehow, right?
Wow.
Tell me about it. What's bringing them to your content? Like, what's making them like, hey, this Lonerbox guy is kind of interesting. Like, what's that?
What's bringing women to my content? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably my hair or my cheeks. I'm joking. I don't know. Women like politics, and I guess again, I'm the only one of the only streamers of my size who has no sex scandals and doesn't support terrorism. So I think they like that.
Yeah, but like
more feminine quality.
Because like, isn't on average like women are usually more smarter than like men, right? Like, right?
Smarter? I mean, they're more academically successful. I don't know if they're smarter.
Right, but like, if like how guys are, right? Like we're pretty like dumb cavemen like on politics, right? Like you would think like they wouldn't watch your type of content, right? Because you're a guy. You think so? Like I don't know what's like bringing them to your shit though.
I don't know.
Can't be your politics.
It can't be my politics. Why?
Nah, hell nah, bro. Hell no. No, can't be your politics.
I'm pretty sure like a fairly
can't be.
disproportionate amount of women in my server are like Jews, so that probably is part of it. I don't.
Nah, can't be your politics, bro. Like, no
Ask
shot,
them.
bro.
Do a poll. You've got standing in the community.
I can't. What do you mean on fucking Discord or YouTube chat?
Do a little survey. Do a little Reddit post, or just go and do interviews. Just go on Discord and
Right.
do some snooping. I don't know.
I don't know, like women though. I mean, like specifically women watching you. I don't know what that was.
Why are you, bro?
You're,
okay, listen. You're just. This is like what's he got that I don't got? Listen, if you want to.
No. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on, motherfucker. I got Hassan. All right, Hassan. He's like what he's like towering over you, motherfucker. He's like what 6'3", like 6'2". You gotta step it up.
A couple of inches taller than me, yeah, like 2
Come on,
inches.
man. Hold on, pipe down. All right, hold on. I'm not doing no fucking incel ass. No, I'm just asking generally.
That has nothing to do with what I said.
Bringing... No. You trying to do something like wishy-washy? I know you trying to do.
It's probably the same reason that men come into the audience, right? They identify with the politics. Men and women have quite a lot of things in common, right? We're the same species and shit.